Kevin tells me was from the Ryla program that was held in San Francisco this year. So I think that you'll find that our kids had equally good experience here, and we've got a wonderful facility for them to have that Ryla experience, and we're just really pleased to have them here today. So what I've asked each one of the kids to do is to come up and tell a little bit about themselves, the things that they like to do, and what they expected to get out of Ryla, and what they actually got out of the program. So help me in providing a warm welcome to our 4 students that we have here today. And I'm going to start with your alphabetical. So Riley, I guess you get to be first. So this is Riley Emerson.
I'm Ryla Emerson. I attend Canyon Ridge High School. I am currently a graduating junior, so that means I will be graduating as a junior, not a senior. I am an artist. I love anything to do with Photoshop. I work on yearbook, newspaper, and I am in theater. So I'm a very artistic individual. So when I went to Ryla, I've been to a leadership conference in Washington, D.C. So I've done the leadership out of the textbook, very nonchalant. Yeah. So I got to Ryla that day, and I don't do well with people. I can learn things, but learning in a group is difficult for me because I've always had a fear of people. So I got up there and didn't know many people, didn't talk, and then by the end of the trip, you have so many people who support you, who love you, who I've only known these people for 4 days, and it's amazing because they feel like family. First day, you've got people hugging you, going, come on in, and you're like, no, get away. And then by the end, you're hugging and crying and being like, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave these people because they're my family. And what I took away from Ryla was probably the fact that it's okay to trust people. It's okay to be friends, because in the end, it does form relationships. And learning throughout the whole entire trip, we did the ropes course, we went bowling, we did all these different things, and we did so many team activities. You had a family with you, and you had a junior leader. And so when I went there, it was amazing because I didn't know any of these people. And my junior leader was named Cortland, and I had never met him, and he looked like a big bear to me. He was like grizzly grr. And by the end, I was like, you're my teddy bear. And so it was just such an amazing experience because I cried so much just because I was not used to people. And by the end, I was crying because I didn't want to leave people. And so when I got back, I was just like, I need to join Interact. I need to get into these things because I want to meet more people. I want to know the experience that I had at Ryla, and I don't want that feeling to leave. So I really just want to get involved, is because this camp has taught me so much about myself and how much people have affected lives, and how when someone opens up and is your family and says it's okay to talk to me, I will be a support system, you don't want to leave that. And so I want to give that same feeling to other people. And so I really want to do and be involved again with Rotary because they've given me such a good experience and changed my whole entire life. And I guess that's kind of what I took away the most, was Ryla is just the most incredible experience ever, because you do find a family, even if they're not related in blood, even if they don't live in your town, they don't go to your school, they live in Idaho, and they're like, you know what? We don't care where we live, I don't care where you come from, I don't care where I come from, let's be friends. And so I guess that was my most amazing experience, was that I found friendship in the last place I expected to go. So, you know, that's just the thing, is I can't believe how amazing it is to find friends in the least expected places. And I want to thank you people so much for sponsoring me to go and to let me be a part of this, because it has enriched my life so much. And I ask that you do this for other students as well, because it does change your life, whether they want to admit it or not. So thank you so much.
Riley's grandmother is my administrative assistant. And I asked Gina after the weekend, I said, so did Riley have a good time? She said she talked nonstop for hours, so you can see that it did have an impact on Riley. So we're glad that she was able to go. Okay, next is Chris. And Chris, I got an email from our district governor that says you need to get this boy to your Rotary meeting. And I said, well, we've already invited him to be at our Rotary meeting, because Chris also had a real exceptional experience, and I'm looking forward to hearing from Chris.
Good afternoon. My name is Chris Flournoy. I'm going to be a senior at Twin Falls High School, and I am really more of one of the quiet kids at Twin Falls. I'm on the tennis team. I'm in the band. I used to be in chess club till it fell apart, but I also do a lot of more of the shadow stuff than I really was never on the football team or big loud cheerleader or anything like that. And when I first got to Ryla, I thought it's going to be like all the other camps, you know, make a few friends that you'll know for a few days, get some girls' numbers, have some fun, just mess around. And so I can literally stand in front of you all today and say Ryla has changed my life. And I say that without a doubt. I cannot express it even more, because there is nothing more. I have never seen so much love, so much compassion, so much friendship in this world. I mean, you would, if I could take you to Ryla right now and just stick you through that 4 days, no matter how old you are, no matter how young you feel, no matter who you are, you will be changed by this. And it's absolutely impossible to not be. It was that much of an impact on me. And before I had gone to Ryla, I had gone to a thing called Triennium. It was for my church. It was a big conference in Indiana. And I had gone on a 32-hour bus ride with 40 people I had never met. And it was a huge confidence booster for me, because I felt, by the end, I was friends with all the people there. And I thought, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna try to be myself more. And I thought, I have never really been my loud, obnoxious self sometimes, and I tend to come off as annoying to a lot of people. But Ryla changed that. Ryla showed me that I can be myself and people will like me for it. Ryla showed me that if I am compassionate to other people, and if I love other people, people will start to be changed themselves. And if I can change one person, that person will touch someone else, who will touch someone else who can change the world. When I got to Ryla, the first day we did this thing on the ropes course. And I got with this group of mine, and it was called the Quack Attack, because we were supposed to name us, we had a mascot called the Ducks, and so we had some really silly people, so we decided to name it the Quack Attack. And at the beginning, everyone was kind of nervous. We didn't really know each other. We were just kind of goofing off. And by the end, it was like we'd known each other our entire lives. That's how close we got. I have never seen so much unity just in over a couple hours. And no one was excluded. We had one thing where we had to get we had a big, tall 6'7" guy, and I thought I was kind of tall, and then I saw him, and he was humongous. And we had to get him over a 10-foot wall. And when we did it, we had 10 of us trying to lift him up over this wall, but we finally did it, because we didn't want anyone to not get over that wall. That was our goal. I mean, we were running out of time. We're like, guys, we got to get him over, and we did it, because everyone was unified. No one was excluded. No one was left out. And I thought, if the world was like that, can you imagine how much greater it would be? And so I started thinking, maybe all these social barriers that we have are just trying to protect ourselves rather than maybe how we actually are. And so by the end of this first day, all of that social stuff was gone. Whether you were a jock, you were a nerd, you were a geek, you were a freak, everyone was loving each other. I had a friend of mine, his name was Gavin, and Gavin was probably not someone I would usually hang out with in my usual high school. He was big, he was buff, I kind of was a little intimidated by him. And by the end, I was his best friend. I mean, we were constantly around each other, always talking, and he was such an awesome guy. But another thing that really changed me about Ryla was I became more confident in myself. And on the second day, we had a thing called the board breaking, in which you literally wrote down everything you felt that was holding you back from being yourself, and you broke the board. It was like I felt like a karate person. It was that cool. But I listened to I forgot what her name was, but anyways, I listened to her as she's talking about all the things that she felt were holding her back. She had come from South America. She felt that she was discriminated in race. She felt like she was stupid sometimes, and she wrote it all down on that board. And then she took 2 chairs, and she puts them together, and she goes, "Hey-ya!" And she cracked the board. And I've never seen anyone but the judo people with black belts do it. And I thought, well, if she can do it, I can do it. And so I wrote so many things. Like, the board was covered in all this writing of things that I felt that were holding me back. My shyness, annoying, things I can't even remember because they're gone. They're not with me anymore. I broke the board and I threw it away in the trash can. It's back at CSI. Nothing will take me back again. And so, everyone at Ryla was so compassionate and so loving, and it really made me have faith in the world. And that if us as a few people can be so compassionate and loving, I can do that to other people. And I wish that I could have stayed at Ryla for the rest of my life, but I understood that it's our duty to take that out in the world and share it with you. And so I would like to thank the wonderful people of this wonderful, wonderful club for the life-changing opportunity that you have given me, because I can truly say before you, I am a changed man, and I cannot thank you enough. I love you all. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. I guess I see why she wanted you to be here. So, very good. Okay, Sonny Levitt is our next presenter. Sonny also went to Ryla as well. So, Sonny, you're on.
So my name is Sunny Levitt. I'll be a senior at Twin Falls High School. And some of the things I like to do is I like to paint, and I like to sing. I like to be in jive at my high school, and that's about it. I like to perform, things like that. So I got involved with Ryla through my friend Allison. She did it the year before, and I'd heard about it because I knew some of the kids who went, and I heard that it was something that they really stressed on me that I should do, and so I signed up and I applied and I didn't make it, and I was really bummed, and so I emailed him and was like, is there any way that I can go find scholarships in the community or something? And he's like, actually, one of the girls can't go, so you can fill her spot. And I'm so glad that I did. It was seriously such a great experience. I think that a lot of the people came back with like lasting friendships, and I know that I made a lot of friendships, but Ryla for me was more of an independent thing. And although I did learn a lot about how people work, I learned that the reason why there was such that spirit at camp and why everyone got along so well, it wasn't because we all just made friends so quickly. It was because we were being true leaders together, and we were letting our abilities bounce off each other, and it was like we were truly showing compassion for each other, and it really turned into a great thing. And it taught me a lot about being a leader isn't just taking charge and being bossy and figuring out how you think something should go down. It's actually taking time to listen to other people, and even if you don't agree, just kind of give some way and something great can come out of it. I think that I kind of had the mentality at the beginning that, oh, I already live in Twin Falls, I've already done the ropes course, I've already gone to the Hurt Center, I've already done this, I've already done that, but honestly everything just took on a new light because of the goals that we set and the way we approached the task. Like, we were going to go to the ropes course so that we could stretch ourselves and grow ourselves a little bit more. And I think with those goals, I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about what I want to do and that I want to help people. So that gave me a lot of insight about my career or things like that. And so I know that Ryla helped me a lot with figuring out things that are so like messed up in my mind right now, which I don't know what I'm going to do after high school. things like that. Now I have to think about going on a youth exchange possibly, so, but that was really awesome. One of the highlights of the experience is we had this, I think it was called a walk, but everyone stood in this big room and they would say things like, step over the line. There would be a line in the middle of the room. Step over the line if you're a girl. And so the girls would go to one side and the boys would go over to the other side, and the boys would be silent and the girls would say things. The narrator, it was silent if you weren't speaking, but they would say, tell the boys something that you've always wanted to tell them. And it went through topics like gender and discrimination on race and eating disorders and lots of just different issues that really impact high schools, I think. And it really taught me a lot about like the things that I think that I'm going through, a lot of people are going through. And it kind of, once you realize that you have that support system, you're able to be more okay with your issues and feel like I can get over this, like it's something that I can do. And it was just really encouraging to realize that our world has so many people that are doing the same things as you and having the same struggles as you. And so when we put our hands together for a cause, then something great can come out of it. Another great highlight was we had a hunger walk kind of thing. And the point of it is that we were divided into classes like lower class, middle class, and upper class. And the upper class kids, there was just a few of them, they sat at like a table like this and they got really fancy food. And the middle class, they got like a piece of toast or something. And then the lower class had to wait forever and they got just a big pot of rice that was just thrown on the ground and we just ate it with our hands. This is for lunch, and we were all hungry because we'd done the ropes course all morning, and we were all just really hot and hungry. So it really did affect us kind of. It wasn't just a little experiment. And it was just really interesting to see that we're so blessed to live where we live and have what we have. And it really made me realize that it's kind of a duty of ours to share that. And I think that sometimes we think that we don't have enough, even though we live in such a great country and we have so many opportunities and we have abilities that we can work hard for things. And so it really got me thinking about, those looking out for, it's like our brotherly responsibility to look out for people who don't have as much and who need that kind of thing. So that was great. It was just a really positive experience. I just learned a lot about being a leader and loving leadership and not having it be such a stressful thing and having it be like something you can enjoy. And I'm excited to take it back to my school, and I think that I'm excited that I kind of did it independently and that I learned a lot about myself, and I wasn't super crazy, and I kind of just observed, and I got so much from it because I gotta watch how taking responsibility really affects yourself. And so I'm excited to bring that back to my high school. I'm excited to be involved in student council and hopefully use some of the skills and leadership that I gained there and bring it back there. And even just in my personal life, just really trying to understand and get to know other people and how volunteering shouldn't be like a chore or something you dread. It's something that you're giving back, and you get so much in return. So I'd like to thank you all so much for sponsoring me. It was such a great experience, and I definitely would recommend it to anyone. I learned so much, and I'm very indebted to you, so thank you.
Our fourth student this morning is Allison Ward. And Allison, as you heard Sonny mention, Allison was a participant in Ryla last year. And this year we sponsored her to Girl State, so she's going to talk a little bit more about Girl State. But I know Allison had a good experience at Ryla last year as well.
Hello, my name is Allison Ward. I am going to be a senior at Twin Falls High School. I am also involved in Twin Falls High School's show choir called Jive. I love to perform as my friend Sunny does. I'm also in student council. I'm the student body publicist, so I'm making a scrapbook to document our school year this year. What else? I run cross country. I really enjoy that. It's fun. It's just hard to get in shape. Okay, so I really recommended Ryla to my friend Sunny because I had such a wonderful experience at Ryla. for me, I went there thinking that I would be one of the loudest and most willing leaders there. And I went there and I was so surprised because for once in my life, I was the quiet girl. I wasn't that loud. There were so many people there that were so much more energetic than me. It was surprising, and it was like I learned how it was to not be the person that always took charge. And it was honestly a wonderful experience to learn how to take a step back and to let someone else lead for a little bit. And there were opportunities that I had to lead, and I was grateful for them. But I was really, really happy to learn how to let someone else take charge. But I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about Girls State, which is a government girls camp sort of thing that I went to in June of this year. And it was an experience I was very nervous to attend because I did not know very much about if someone would have told me the word Parley Pro or Parley Procedure, I would have had no clue what they were talking about 2 months ago. But after I attended this, I learned so much about how our government works and how elections work. And I met so many wonderful girls there, and I was so intimidated though because I'm the debate president, I'm the student body president, and it's like a humbling experience that these girls knew a lot, but I could learn what they already knew. And so during Girls State, we all had opportunities to run for certain positions. And so instead of the state of Idaho, the state for Girls State was called the state of Syringa. So I ran for the state treasurer for the state of Syringa. And so I was in the Federalist Party. And so first I gave a speech to all the Federalist girls, which was 125, so it was half of the girls. And I was very nervous, but I did my very best, and I was elected for the Federalist Party. And after that, I ran against the girl who won for the Nationalist Party, and I spoke in front of all the 250 girls, and it was a wonderful experience for me to speak publicly, and I won. And so on the day that we got to go to the state capitol, I got to meet Ron Crane, the state treasurer, and that was a wonderful experience. I got to spend 3 hours with him and with people in his office, and I learned so much about how our treasury works, and I got to see the old state safe, and it's super cool. The lock is broken, and so it's really cool because they can't use that anymore because they can't shut it. There's not a locksmith in the entire world that can fix it. And so it was such a cool and historical experience for me to learn how to run for elections and how to get to know people. And I enjoyed both of these experiences. But I have to say that Ryla was a really great experience. Sorry to go back to this. Because I learned a lot more about myself. That was one where I think I understood people better. And I understood that people my age have gone through trials that are so much different than me, so much harder than me. But I'm so grateful that you guys have given me two of these wonderful opportunities, and I know that they have both helped me so much and have changed me in high school. Chris talked about breaking the board, and I remember on my board I wrote, I will stop being judged, or I will stop worrying what other people think about me, or trying to live up to the expectations of like my siblings or of those around me. And I remember I couldn't break the board. I kept trying, and I hurt my wrist, and I just felt so intimidated. And finally I tried one more time, and I did it. And I just felt so happy because I was like, this is done. Like I don't need to worry about people's expectations for me, and I set myself my own high expectations, and I feel so much better when I meet them now. So thank you so much for both these opportunities, and Twin Falls Rotary, you guys are such a blessing in my life. Thank you.
As I listened to these four young people speak, it kind of came to me that they talked about working together and accomplishing common goals and some of those things. And one of them made the comment that it didn't make any difference whether you were young or old. It seems to me that maybe we ought to see if Congress would be interested in participating in the Ryla program. But anyway, if four of you would stand one more time, and let's give them a round. These guys did a great job. I think, I've heard a lot of reports from kids that have gone to Ryla, but I have to tell you four that yours was by far the best. You guys really put some thought into it and did a good job, and we appreciate it. And I think it was a very good investment on our part to send the four of you to the activities that you went to. So.